it's supposed to go till you're 40 today, I think. But
I'm hoping it'll be nice when I get the parts for the pilot, so I can put them in.
Well, next week's supposed to be in the 40s. I think Monday they said like 47 or 50. So
part won't be here till Tuesday at the earliest.
Yeah, but still.
That's assuming they deliver mail on Tuesday. I know inside the central dispatch, the new one, VHF, if you could hear the repeater, but you couldn't get it, you couldn't talk to it. And I went to UHF, and it was a similar type of thing. When I went to UHF digital, it came back, and then when I went to digital wires X, it brought up the North Dakota. So that's what's 5 on. Boy, everybody's going at the same time. Okay.
Well, it's 10:06, so we
probably have to. I hear, and I used to work with his wife at Delta, and they were missiles. And not so long after they got married, they bought a house.
Oh, yeah.
On the GI Bill, right? And it was a nice house. And
that's come down again?
Yes. So anyhow, here they are, doing good. All of a sudden, same game. Oh yeah, we're going to transfer you to Maelstrom, or not Maelstrom, FE for missile maintenance. I'm like, here, missile maintenance. No, you're going to Maelstrom for missile maintenance, or to Wyoming for missile maintenance. Yeah, but I don't. Listen carefully.
Just bought a house.
Yeah, so now he's got to try to see if he can sell it and not lose anything on the deal and pay off the GI loan. So he can, so here he goes. And they were not happy. We had another guy.
I heard somebody that had something like similar happen to him like that. They were working at Maelstrom. He'd been there for 5 years. They even told him that he was probably going to be there another 10 years or something. He'd probably finish out his whatever time there. Within 6 months of that, he had orders to Vandenberg.
Oh, no.
And then from Vandenberg, he spent 6 months at Vandenberg, got transferred to F.E. Warren, and then he was there for 2 years. Again, was told he was safe type thing. Then he got transferred to Minot. And he finished out his time at Minot for like 10 years. It was like,
I would be down on my knees begging him not to send me to California. and can I do anything at all to not go to this terrible place? I will go to Greenland. I will go anywhere, but I will not want to go.
He spent 6 months there.
Yeah, well, right.
But they told him he was going to be there for like 3 years.
Well, when I was...
So he went out and bought a house. And then 6 months went by, and they're ordering back.
When I was at
F.E. Warren for 3 years.
When I was at F.E. Warren working wing security, and then I got in a group of wing battle staff.
But it was again one of these things like missile maintenance type things.
They told me, as a security policeman, I was been selected to be the senior MX security controller for all security operations for MX Missile. And I went, really? You will never leave Wyoming. You will go to the end of your high-year tender and we will extend it. And I'm like, what? So, when the day I arrived, I put in to leave.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I said, well, I had moved from, we had 2 years in an apartment downtown. We moved on base into Wary housing, which was substandard housing. They paid us to live in because it was, we didn't think it was bad, but it was bad. But we were fine with it. So then I was qualified for Sergeant's Row that was built back in the 1830s, maybe. 2-story brick with about 5 bedrooms and 5 fireplaces. Across the street is a garage, which used to be where you kept your horse. And you're about 3 blocks from wing security, which is where I'm going to be working. And that's where the group battle staff goes to. So,
gas seemed cheaper.
diesel,
Right?
yep. So anyhow, I said, well, the lady says, well, you've been selected for Sergeant's Row. We went and looked at it. Oh my God, the house is a huge, monstrous brick. Oh my God. Of course, you don't get to own it. You just get to live there.
Yeah.
You can't touch nothing because it's like 100 years old.
Historical.
Right. The whole base is pretty much. So then I was like, well, okay. I put in for orders when I arrived. I wonder if there's any orders out there. And then housing got mad again. Well, we'll have to check. And my commander, his commander, nobody on base knew that I had orders. Nobody. I talked to housing. Housing talked to somebody, and they said, you're going to North Dakota. I'm like, what? Really? Not Alaska. No, you're not going to Alaska. You're going to Minot, North Dakota. Minot.
Never heard of that.
No, I'd heard of it. I'd driven by before. We had been on Minot.
Yeah, because you were in Grand Forks.
Long time ago. Anyhow, I was like, oh, Minot, really? So I went up to my commander, who was an entertainingly, a lot of times aggressive and explosive type of commander, but he wasn't totally bad. He was, so I walked up to his office and knocked on the door. Come on in, Sergeant, sir. Sir, I understand that I'm the senior MX guy. Yeah. Colonel's approved it. Everybody's approved. Yes, you're in. Forever. Okay.
That's like...
I talked to housing because they're going to move me to Sergeant's Row. Oh, that'll be really nice. Yeah. You'll be just down the street from wing security. Yes, sir, I would. They tell me I have orders to Minot, and he caught himself before he blew apart. You know.
0MD, Mobile Monster.
He was gonna blow like a guy, like a volcano blowing up, you know. And he caught himself, and he said, "Do you want to go to Minot?" I said, "Sir, I think I do. I'm not sure." Well, decide whether you want to go to Minot or not. And I said, "I'm going to say yes, sir." All right, I'm not going to stand in your way, and you're not going to lock you. You can leave. I hope it's a good deal. I said, so do I. You know, I wasn't really wanting to go to Minot that hard, but anyhow, it worked out okay. But you know, it was one of those things. If I'd have stayed there, who knows what would have happened? You know, and I had a similar thing here. I was having.
That was when they found out that the MX missile system didn't last very long after that.
But at the moment, it was the hottest big firecracker out there. So that's the way it was, you know. Since we had 200, and we were going to get all.
So this would have been what, 83, 84 or so. MX was dead in 87.
I know.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been very long.
Well, I was there when they were bringing it in.
Yeah.
The transporter erector had 40 tires on it and an 8-wheel drive Oshkosh to pull it. Big missile in the Wyoming silos, 10 warheads each. Very, very, very accurate.
Yeah. You know, they might build some of those again, you know, when things are going.
Gone. like,
I think the Russians have a version of that type of thing now.
They probably do, but it's a big
10 warheads, yeah.
Yeah, it was a big beast. And it's gone. I don't know if I think I used them to launch satellites with or something.
Probably.
But they're gone. The sites are trashed. But and up here, I got up here and they were going to put me in missiles. Your mom had a seizure, and I asked if I could go to aircraft, so I went to aircraft, and that was fine. But then I started having problems, and so I was starting to panic on stuff. So then I begged them to let me go to missiles, and they're like, "Okay, Sarge." And in the middle of that, I got really shaky, and I applied to be an FL. So I had an aircraft commander, a missile commander, and a kind of in-between commander, and none of them told the other one that I was screwy. And so I got the missiles, and I first had to act. They treated me like crap at first, and then they realized I knew what I was doing. And I started rewriting the stuff that they were doing wrong, and fix the stuff and making improvements. So the commander was like, "Oh, I'll keep you." So then he didn't like something. He didn't like something I did. He said, "That's no way for a master sergeant to select you to be." I said, "No, sir, it's not." And a little while later, he said, "Sarge, what's this you're going to be an FM?" I said, "Well, sir, it seemed like a good idea at the time." He's like, "Really? Did your other commander know that?" I said, "Sir, he signed the paper." "He didn't tell me that."
I like the phone call.
So he was pretty piggy at the other commander. The other commander said, "Hey, your problem. You took him." I don't know. They were actually both good. My Wyoming commander, I was having problems, and you kids were always sick, and Mom was always sick, and everything was all hosed up, and I was sick, and I was on alert and gone. And so I got called in by the commander because my performance wasn't what it should be, and he was right. So he called me in and said, "I
was going somewhere.
Go get him farming." I think it closes at noon. You're going to go through the window?
I thought they said they closed at 1.
Well, is that through the window?
No, I thought they closed the inside at 1.
Yes, which means you got to go through the window. Well, I thought it closed at noon.
Well, the last time we went there, I thought it said that the inside closed at 1.
I think we got there at like 10 minutes to noon. We'll see.
If it isn't, then we'll just go home and come back on Monday or something.
Yep. Monday or Tuesday.
It's not a big deal. We can even do it Monday instead.
Yeah. Well, we can drive by and take a look.
Yeah.
I think we went in there like 15 minutes to noon.
It might have been. I don't remember off the top of my head.
And if I'd have listened to you and left immediately.
It's just what it is. I don't remember half the time. If it is, it is. That's what it is.
Garbage bag or guy's coat, or it's like a duffel bag or something.
A trash bag or something.
Yep, could be a trash bag.
The only people be out walking like that on that sidewalk be like university kids or something.
Could be. And sometimes old guys are going to school too. Yeah. If I'd have went full time when I got out of the service that year later when they authorized it, I could have gone full time and that would have been my job instead of trying to work and go to school. Might have made more sense. I don't know. Might have been home more.
Maybe.
worse, then I would have been carrying a full load of school, so I'd have been studies. Different one. That's the ambulance. That was the fire truck. Fire truck was going that way, though. The ambulance is going this way. So I don't know where they're going exactly, but it looks like they're turning somewhere.
Just keep going, so back up traffic.
Yeah, I got traffic backed up right now.
I know, but you can.
Okay. Say they're heading north.
Sitting there, sitting in the back in the truck here, so not having a pleasant experience.
Not?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just it didn't feel good like I sat in here the other day.
Yeah.
So, it's just that part of the back that hurts.
Yep.
That lower back part. Sitting in the ER some of those days. And I says, you know, I remember when the Novocaine wore off after I had my wisdom teeth taken out on my right side, and I thought that was the most mass amount of pain that anybody could be in and still be conscious. Because it looked, at the time I equated that to like being on fire, and I thought that was the worst pain I ever experienced. Oh no, it's not even close. And when that muscle was spasming over top of the nerve, I found that I could withstand a whole lot more pain.
Yeah.
And I'm really surprised I didn't pass out. I wanted to.
Yeah.
I definitely wanted to pass out of pain. Actually would have been better. Well, for a little while.
For a little while.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, I says, I was in so much pain in the ER, they had a nurse come down from the upper floors going, who got shot? I said, no, it's alright, it's my back. I told him, it's like, that pain when the Novocaine wore off was like, if it's a scale of 1 to 10, it was like a 15 or 20. My back was going like crazy. I was like a 50.
Yeah,
At least.
Pretty grumpy.
Like I said, that one time I was I waited for 12 plus hours in the ER, and then they got me in bed, and I still waited 2 hours before I was seen by somebody, and then another hour before they gave me anything for the pain. It's just, I watched the guy came in who sawed his foot off, and then they brought the foot in, and they were giving him fentanyl for the pain. I'm like, can you 1 cc or half cc or even whatever's residual in the thing?
1/10 of a drop.
Can you just something in me, something? I'll take anything at this point.
That's the problem with that.
What does it say for lobby? Saturday, till 12. Okay.
To 12.
Okay, so we're not.
It's 9 to 1. If we want to go to drive-through, I'd say we'll just wait.
Yeah, let's wait till Monday.
But now we know.
Yeah.
It's kind of what we thought.
Yeah. So I was like going, that was a experience that I don't ever want to have to repeat. And it's just all the time they'd give me different types of stuff, and it would work for a little bit, and then it would, of course, they would never give me more than a 1 or 2 pill thing.
Right.
So I'd be right back in there either that afternoon or the next day.
Yeah.
And Tylenol and aspirin did nothing. They finally had gotten pissed off about how much time I'd been in the ER and all the stuff they gave me. They finally gave me a 5-day supply of. They gave me hydrocodone, which did nothing.
Yeah.
Which is what the doctor says. It's not that much farther off from Oxy, but I'm like, well, it didn't do anything, guys.
Yeah.
So I told them, give me a 5-day supply of Oxy to try to break my cycle.
Yeah.
And I says, I was on to my 3rd day of it, and I was in so much pain. I was still feeling electrical pulses going down my spine on Oxy. And it says, actually, it's one of those days that I actually called to go into the ER, even after I had been on Oxy all day. And they brought me in, and then they says, and we can't do anything for you. You're on Oxy. We can't give you anything more. I'm like, the time I came into the hospital, the ER, that one day, and they injected me with, I think, the IV version of Oxy, and I told the guys, like, it was like they injected me in the left arm, and I could feel it wave over my body, and it just killed the pain.
That's the danger with it.
And it was like I was so within minutes going from agony situation to no pain. In fact, I felt like I could get up and do jumping jacks. That's how much non-pain I was in. I mean, it was masking it all, but I felt great.
That's the trouble with that stuff.
I know, I understand that, and I understand their reasoning for it. Boy, golly. Whew. I've never experienced that level of like, well, okay. That time when I had my wisdom teeth out, and they gave me the Percocet stuff, and after a couple of the Percocet pills, there was a time that I felt like I was floating. Yeah. And it was the oddest sensation. And I was telling him that, I was like, then I told my dad that I felt that way, and he took the pills from me, and I was like going, oh. I shouldn't have said nothing.
Dangerous stuff, man.
Yeah, I know.
When Mom had her knee redone.
Yeah.
The pain level when they redo your knee.
Oh, it gotta be insanity.
So anyhow, my mom is sitting there after the surgery, and she's like, "Well, what's the deal with? Why aren't you taking that pill?" She said,
"I don't want to take the pill. I don't want to be having it."
And she said, that's great.
That's great,
but right now,
you really need it. You really need it. Yeah.
Really.
Yes.
It will be better each day, but
yes.
Right now,
especially the day after surgery or right after.
Yes.
Take the pain pill.
Yes.
You're sitting in a hospital environment. Surrounded by all this stuff.
It's okay to have the pill.
It's okay to have the pain pill.
Yeah. You just sawed your knee apart, put it back together, and it didn't work right.
Yes.
So now it's cracked and it has to.
Yes.
So not only was it the trauma that, you had the cracked bone trauma, and it's wrapped with the old wire.
You need to take the pain pill so your knee doesn't move around
Yeah.
because of the pain you're in.
Well, then when we had her over here at the assisted thing there, she did something. She heard this big crack.